on the business side of things, go out, shake hands, meet new people, and surround yourself with people that are better than you. Make sure you're not the smartest man in the room.
What's up, everybody? This is Andrew Johnson with Business Networking Done Right with another episode of Connections That Matter. Really excited about today's episode because I have Zach Karre with A+ Heating and AC. He is a local legend in the town of Berthoud, Colorado, and I think beyond, Zach. But let me start there. Is I grew up in Berthoud. I went to Berthoud High School, so Berthoud's not a very big place. And all of a sudden, maybe it was about a year and a half ago, I started seeing people just recommending A+ Heating and AC. So how did you come into Berthoud? Tell me how you founded your business.
Yeah, so, well, I actually didn't found my business. I purchased A+
Nice.
in March of 2023. So I grew up in central Nebraska in a small town where I landed an HVAC job at a young age of 16. And, you know, I just kind of pursued the career of HVAC, and I worked for a larger company in Lincoln, Nebraska for some time. And then I had the opportunity to purchase A+, and A+ was a small one-man shop. You know, they had basically Berthoud was their service area. So it was a one-man shop. I think they had roughly 200 customers in the area, which was a good start for me, right? So, and then after I purchased A+, you know, I really took pride in providing quality services and building a referral network. So people that would talk good about my company and ensuring that my customers were happy enough at the end of their service to recommend us to their friends and family and neighbors throughout the community. So that's kind of how it all got started, I guess. But taking pride in what I do, it was the biggest step in ensuring that the community spreads the word.
Okay, well, so go into that due diligence, because I think a lot of people start a business, but to purchase a business and to find the right one, and then knowing what your vision of what you want to create with it based on what was already there. What was that process like? How did you get into that?
So it was a pretty straightforward process. It was actually a distant relative of mine that owned the company,
Okay.
and he was ready for retirement. So he reached out to me and said he was getting ready to sell his business, and he had a few assets and a phone number, essentially. So I bought a van with some supplies on it, no warehouse, no employees, and just a van and a phone number. So I wasn't necessarily looking to buy something that was established with employees. I kind of wanted to work my way up and learn the operations of a small company before I took that step into the, you know, multi-million-dollar operations with large overhead employees, stuff like that. So it was really a sweet opportunity for me to start out as a one-man company, be out there in the community myself, doing the work myself, creating those relationships with people in the community, you know, customers, clients, as well as other trades as well. I think that's been a huge part of our growth, is creating those relationships with other trades, whether it's a plumber or an electrician or a roofer. Those people are in consumers' houses all day long, just like we are. So doing work for them and showcasing our work to those people really got our name out there, because they were willing to share, you know, that, hey, A+ is a local company and they take pride in what they do. They get to see our work. If they're, you know, if a plumber's working on the water heater next to the furnace, he may ask, you know, who did your work? It looks really good. And so making sure everything's straight and tidy, it kind of created that trust in other companies when they're in the customer's home as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great point, is wanting to align yourself with other companies that are having that level of trust on a trades thing. And I definitely see that with you, Zach. Like, not only are the people of Berthoud recommending you, but when people are asking for recommendations, whether it's next door or on Facebook, you're the one actually responding and recommending other local professionals, and it gives you a certain level of influence to, I've seen you recommend like Mayor Plumbing or anybody else, but who do you recommend? And, you know, how do you kind of choose of which companies that you're most likely to recommend to?
Yeah, I guess the most important thing when I look to refer someone is someone that I have experience with or have heard great things about from my clients.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to note that not all referrals are a good referral.
Okay.
And so, you know, we have customers call in all the time that are needing plumbing work or electrical work that it's not necessarily something we can provide, but my number one goal is that if we can't provide a solution for you, we'll find someone that can. So people that I've had experiences with in the past, like Mayor Plumbing, you mentioned, we refer a ton of work to Mayor Plumbing. I've done work with them before. My clients have been super happy with them. So that's the number one thing I look for is, are the people I'm referring to my referral partners, are they happy with the services they're receiving? Because I get calls from our clients that we referred Mayor Plumbing to, and they're like, hey man, Mayor Plumbing was amazing. Thanks for that referral. And that goes back on your company as much as it does the company that actually provided the service.
Really cool. And a lot of people, when they're building a business, especially in a small town, people are close knit. They have those established relationships, and they wonder, how do I break into these kind of circles? So, talk me through how you were able to set those things up and start to refer out and start to receive those.
Yeah, networking groups really helped me out.
Right.
Yeah, thanks Andrew for that. But yeah, creating those relationships maybe outside of work. Maybe it's at a social mixer or a organized networking event, to go shake those people's hands and just get in front of them and let them know that you're providing those services in a specific area, and start to get a few jobs from there. But just building the relationships is the most important thing. And I've always said, I think communication skills are one of the most important attributes to a person, regardless of the industry, and being able to build relationships through good communication at networking events, and letting people understand exactly what you do. Like, we have a niche. We're not just HVAC guys. There's a variety of different things in the HVAC industry: industrial, commercial work. There's new construction, ton of new construction in northern Colorado, right?
Yeah.
And that's not right up our alley. So letting people understand exactly what we do. We specialize in residential service, maintenance, and retrofit installation. So that's exactly what we do, and ensuring that people know exactly what we do has helped weed out unnecessary leads and stuff of that sort.
Yeah, and I think especially in a small town, people want to do business with people that align with their values. One thing that I've seen that you do is not only do you great work, but you're giving your time. I know you volunteer with like Roosevelt High School and helping some of their young entrepreneurs. And I saw you did a veterans giveaway. So how, as a business owner, do you decide where to plug in and where to showcase that you're giving back?
Yeah. So the veterans deal that you mentioned, we're doing some free furnace tune-ups for veterans. And, there comes a time in the HVAC industry where things tend to slow down, right?
Okay.
Our business is dependent on weather, essentially. So this time of year, when things start to get nice, we have some free time. I want to keep my guys busy, and I want to give back to the community, especially our veterans that hold a close place to my heart. So, when we have some free time, I'm looking for opportunities to give back to the community. Not only is it great for the veterans, but we get to throw our sticker on it. And maybe if they sell the house at a later time, the new homeowner knows who to call. Or if that person ever experiences issues, they know exactly who to call. So that's how we're kind of doing the veterans, give back thing. You mentioned the Roosevelt High School program. We're partnered with Roosevelt High School. They have a work-based learning program. So it gives high school students the opportunity to get into a construction-based trade, and get high school credits while they're doing it. I think that's super cool that Roosevelt High School does that and gives their students other career pathways than the traditional go to school and get a job type of thing. So we've partnered with them. We have a student that's been with us for almost 2 years now. Cool. So he's actually, this semester, he's full work-based learning. So he's working full-time. He gets paid. He gets his high school credits. He'll get to graduate with his class here in May. So we're going to bring him on full-time come May. So
that's cool. How did you set that up? How did you get plugged into that?
So I actually hired this high schooler before we knew about the work-based learning program. And then his counselor, I believe, reached out and mentioned the program. And we're like, yeah, we're somewhat already doing this, but Grant hasn't been getting the credits that he could for working for us. So we signed up for the work-based learning program, and it's been really sweet. And I look forward to working with Roosevelt High School in the future.
That's really cool. Well, and another thing in the small town is obviously you're benefiting a lot from all that positive PR. You do consistently good work. Your clients are vouching for you on social media, but one bad review or one bad incident and all of it could, that could get out too. So what do you do to make sure you're keeping a high reputation? And, how does that cultivate into what gets out into the ether of small town?
So I think the tactic to gaining the 200 5-star Google reviews that we have is the same tactic to avoid the 1-star reviews. You ask for that at the end of the service. If they're not happy when you ask them, then you make it right at the time, So we ensure that our customers are happy before we walk out of the door. And that kind of covers all bases. When we finish up with a job, we just let our customers know that they will receive an automated link to leave us a review. We hope you were happy with your service. Is there anything you were unhappy with today? And then we get a little bit of feedback from that customer. There's no reason that we should leave the house if they're not satisfied. Yeah. So that's how we've gone about avoiding the 1-star reviews and gaining a ton of 5-star reviews, is just making sure that they're happy before we even leave.
Very cool. And you're seeking out networking. I know we had talked early on and you were looking for different groups. And some people have a lot of success and some people don't have a lot of success networking. Why do you think you've had so much success quickly building relationships?
Yeah, I think I had been to, some chamber events, stuff like that, and it's just not well structured, right? Okay. It's easy to hide in the back corner and twiddle your thumbs and not do a lot of socializing and networking. And so joining a group that has been structured and somewhat teaches you how to build that relationship with the other partners in the group has been a tremendous help to me, because I came into Network in Action without having any necessarily networking experience. So it was all new to me, what to look for in a referral partner, how to gain, trust within a referral partner. That's been the most important thing to me, is just really learning how to network successfully.
Yeah. And in a lot of these groups, there's people who are upstream of you, like a real estate agent who, they need an inspection on a furnace to get to the closing table. And then to your point, downstream of you work on somebody's condenser, but they might also need some landscaping. So, do you have any different strategies from the people that you're cultivating and working to be like the recommended HVAC that they're referring to? And then different strategies where, hey, I want to make sure that I'm having the clients that have that same level of customer care that I have when I'm referring out.
Yeah. So one thing that I like to do, like if I walk into a business, a lot of times if I have some free time, I'll walk around to some local businesses and introduce myself. But before I walk into that business, I go online and I read their Google reviews. If they have poor reviews, I just skip the building and head to the next one. But I really look for a business that has a lot of good reviews. That way I can mention that to them. It makes them feel good. And I just let them know that, hey, one of my goals for 2025 is to build a good referral network group that sends me some business and that I, most importantly, can send my customers to. I was looking at your Google reviews. It looks like all your customers are super happy with the services you provide. And I was wondering if it would be okay with you if I send some your way.
That's cool. That's cool. And one thing I love about small town networking is you don't have to play small. Like just because you're in a small town, doesn't mean that you have to have smaller goals than somebody that lives in a big city. What is your plans? How are you looking at, headquartered in Berthoud, but I know that you got big dreams and obviously you've had a lot of success to this point.
Yeah. So I guess my ultimate goal is, to build a successful business and to provide a workplace that people enjoy going to work. That's my ultimate goal, is to provide good paying jobs for people in our community. Berthoud holds a special place in my heart because it's where we're centrally located. It's a small town feel. I just love that, everyone seems to kind of know each other. You walk in the grocery store and people say hi, and in the bigger city, you might not get that as much, but I think I would really like to stay centrally located in Berthoud for the foreseeable future. Once we grow out of the current shop we're in, they better build some better infrastructure. But, we do plan to grow. I don't necessarily have a certain metric that I think I'd ever stop at, but we're definitely focused on growth, and we continue to do so.
Okay. Well, and Berthoud's so interesting, right? I mean, a lot of people see each other in Hayes Market, or they're seeing each other at the same restaurant. And at the same time, there's a lot of people are moving in. TPC is there. There's a lot of higher end homes. And some like me, I grew up on a farm east of town. But if somebody is coming in there, new house, they just spent $2 million up at TPC. Do you do anything different necessarily for those bigger houses, higher end houses, than maybe some of the older houses that are in downtown Berthoud?
Yeah, I guess we don't necessarily do anything different. We go about our services the same way. If you have a 800 square foot apartment or a 10,000 square foot multi-million-dollar house on TPC, we're not going to treat you any different.
Yeah.
The service is going to remain the same. We have service plans that those newer homes, they don't tend to have a lot of issues, but they should be maintained. Just like if you go buy a new car, Andrew, you're not going to wait 10 years to start an oil change, right? Yeah?
I hope not.
So same thing goes for HVAC. It's a mechanical piece of equipment. So that's what we really focus on those newer homes, is just getting started on those maintenance plans early. That way we don't have premature failure.
Yeah. Well, and Zach, you're a younger guy. Any advice for other younger business owners or people with big dreams?
Yeah, I think master communication is my number one tip. Whether you want to be a business owner or you're happy with working for someone else, that's totally fine too. But I think communication is by far the most important thing in business and in life in general. I think 99% of problems start with a lack of communication, whether that's with your wife or with a client, whatever that may be. Communication's huge. But on the business side of things, go out, shake hands, meet new people, and surround yourself with people that are better than you. Make sure you're not the smartest man in the room.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to end the podcast with you giving an opportunity to share the connections that matter to you. Who are the other business owners, the other influences that make your business special and that you love working? If you would highlight some of those, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Biggest shout outs, Eddie Mayer with Mayer Plumbing.
Yeah.
We work hand in hand a lot together. I'm down in a mechanical room and I notice a water heater's leaking. I want to ensure that my customers taken care of before they have 40 gallons of water on their floor. So
Sure.
Eddie Mayer has been a huge part of our success as well. He's sent a ton of his clients our way, and we try to do the same for him. So I'd like to give a shout out to him. Jessica Spears with EXP
Nice.
Realty. She's been a huge part of our success as well. She knows the Berthoud real estate market better than anyone else I know. So it's great for me. I'm in a lot of homes where when maybe we're in a 15-year-old home and the equipment needs repaired and it's past its life expectancy, and we're talking about the options repair versus replace, right? Something that comes up often is hey man, we're getting ready to sell our house, right? Maybe we don't want to replace it at this time. So that gives me an opportunity to give Jessica a shout out and say, hey, I work closely with Jessica Spears. She's with EXP Realty. She knows Berthoud's real estate market really well. And a lot of my clients have been super happy with her services. I'd recommend giving her a call.
Very cool. And I'm a networking guy, but there's always people that I want to continue to meet. Zach, with your platform, what additional connections, if somebody has a business or looking to network with you, what additional connections are you seeking out?
Yeah, I think it's mostly home services, whether you're a painter, a garage door repairman, a plumber, electrician, whatever it may be. If you're in residential homes on a regular basis, I think that'd be a good connection to have. I think we could both help each other out tremendously. So anyone in the home service spaces.
Yeah, right on. So if you have a business and you are targeting and wanting to collaborate with other people in the Berthoud area who's doing it the right way, make sure you're tagging and reaching out to Zach and following A+ Heating and AC on social media. Zach, thank you so much for coming on the show. Yeah. How can people find you? How can people reach you?
Yeah, like he said, A+ Heating and AC on pretty much all the social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. A+heating-air.com is our website if you're looking for services, or you can give us a call at 970-302-2532.
Awesome, Zach. Well, thank you so much for sharing about your business, about your tips, and I wish you as much success as can be. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Andrew.